Welcome back to the BookEnds YouTube channel. I'm James McGowan.
I'm Jessica Faust.
And we are talking about queries today, our favorite thing to talk about. Specifically when to query, and more specifically, querying in December.
Yeah, it's November or October actually when we're filming, and we're already getting a lot of people asking, can I query in December? Can I query now? And I think we've talked about this. I've certainly done the blog on this, but I think that it's worthwhile to do a video just on querying in December, maybe over the holidays.
Yeah, especially because we are in such an interesting time right now and people have double concerns, like, do I query in December in a pandemic, which is valid concerns.
Yeah.
So yes, we have talked about this, but does your opinion change now?
No.
Mine neither.
So, I mean, I know writers will talk all the time about when you should query and when you should not query, and querying in the summer and querying in January, and, querying on, May 4th, which I don't know, I just made that up. But I'm sure somebody has a theory. For me personally, when it comes to making submissions to editors, unless there's a really specific reason, a connection, maybe an R&R, something like that, I tend to stop sending out submissions the week of Thanksgiving here in the United States, which is usually, I think it's the third or fourth Thursday of November.
I think this year it's the last Thursday in November, yeah.
So it's the last Thursday. So that's when I stop querying. I don't query that week. I don't submit that week. And I don't submit from that point until, for me, usually at least January 5th. That's
those first few days back in the office. So everyone's catching up. Even I don't have the time to send out a submission.
No. No, nobody wants to get back to the office on January 2nd, scrolling through all of the other things they need to scroll through and have to deal with submissions at that time. So I tend to do about January 5th. I have a lot of reasons for that, but I also think that's just generally good advice for authors. It's a time of year during the holidays, December, there's a lot of things going on. For me, I'm wrapping up the business for the year. We're all sort of reevaluating our year. We are following up and trying to close out submissions that may have been out earlier the year, trying to close out deals before we close for the holidays, but also a lot of publishers close the last week or two of the year. So that really also limits our time. So we're trying to do a lot of closing out and also goal planning and planning for the next year.
Yeah, and also recharging a little bit too, right? Yeah. Like, we are celebrating a huge year every year. It always feels like at the end of the year you make it to December.
I hope so.
Yeah, but every year you make it to December and you're celebrating what we managed to get done and all of the exciting things that are coming in the next year. We're celebrating with each other, although that looks differently this year, but we are taking that time to like celebrate, take a breather, collectively just like enjoy the last few weeks of the year, clean up everything so we can start next year recharged, organized, ready to go. Like, I spend that last couple weeks of December making sure that my spreadsheets are all in order, that my files are in order, that I'm working on sublists for the next year. So I do think that it's a good time for authors to do the same. Take a look at your system. Is your tracking system organized? Because sometimes you get a pass when you're like at the mall and you just quickly throw it on your phone or something like that. Or you maybe don't have that next draft as done as you want it to be, or something sparked it. And this is that time when everybody's sort of taking that time off of work. It's cold out, everybody's staying in the house, to really make sure you're doing that, recharging, reorganizing, recalibrating.
Also, for me, and I don't know if this is the same for you, the end of the year, specifically December, I'm not really in the mindset to be adding more to my to-do list. So reading queries and taking on new clients is something that feels a little daunting during a time of year where I often feel a little overwhelmed with everything I have to do anyway.
It's very much the end of the year. It's like you get the high of scratching something off your to-do list and nobody wants to add more to it.
Yeah. And And it's almost disappointing if you find something in your queries, because what I think a lot of agents are doing towards the end of the year is trying to clean out their inbox
Yes.
so they can start the new year fresh.
Mm-hmm.
And I would hate for an author to send something new and have it be part of a clean out, rather than when an agent comes into the office January, rested, excited.
And it is a mental thing too. Like your goals reset. Well, at least at BookEnds, our goals reset every year, and reset is loose, right? But they do. So like we may have taken on 10 new clients in 2020, and in 2021, we're like, I could take on 10 new clients.
Yeah.
And you are at the beginning of that, and we are not a new agent, but we're feeling refreshed, and our goals sort of reset, and we're working towards them again. With that said, though, do you think, like, if I tweeted something about MSWL, if you have the book, do you think December is a good time to send it? You still think wait?
I still think you should wait. I think you should polish it and check it out. But I mean, I think more than a lot of other agents, I don't tend to close to submissions. I don't tend to have times where I'm not in my query inbox. And even in December, even I'm a little like, oh, even if it's an MSWL, I don't know. And I think it really is just sort of mentally, I'm in a different place. I'm ready to clean things out and move on. And then come January, I come fresh. I've hopefully done some relaxing reading while we've been closed.
And our
And
list does, and it's only 2 weeks. I know it's only 2 weeks, but starting over, our list has a different feel. Like we have new goals for what we're looking for. We might have read something over the holidays that says we're looking for this. So there is a lot that could change in those 2 to 3 weeks.
well, and I don't know about you, but I get sort of seasonally ambitious, for lack of another word. So January, September, usually like June, the beginning of summer, I sort of get rejuvenated by like a new season, and it feels like a fresh start to me. So those times of year are when I feel sort of ready to go and ready to refresh my list and ready to find something new and all the readies. And but December especially just feels hard. You know, you're trying to finish your shopping and get out the cards, or I don't know, whatever it is you do and however it is you celebrate. I think that at that end of year, people are just a little drained.
Yeah.
And I don't think you want to hand somebody your book to somebody who's drained.
Yeah. I think it's just, as we've said, it's good for you to take the breather. It's good for agents to take the breather. You'd only be doing yourself a favor. But
yeah, I guess I would have one exception. My one exception would be if I had an MSWL and you were sitting on it, and in December another agent offered representation, and you did want me or an agent who you hadn't yet queried or an agent who hadn't yet responded to your query to have the opportunity to work with you, then I think, yes, you have, that would be the exception to the no query in December rule, would be, you know, hey, I got an offer. I still would really love you to consider it. Would you do that? That would be my one exception.
Yeah. So otherwise, we suggest taking that time to recalibrate, reorganize, recharge. Make sure that you are getting yourself prepared for successful querying in January.
Yeah, and rethink your goals. You know, it might be a good time to really rethink your goals for that book you're querying or the book you're writing or your career as a whole.
And if you've been querying, you now have 11 or however many months you've been querying, months worth of data.
Yeah.
This is, now I know how to do it. Now I know who to look for, what to look for. So yes, use December to your advantage. Take that time and query harder in January.
Yes.
Good luck. And please think of BookEnds when you do query.
Don't
forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you back next time.
Bye.